Are you ready to build your first calculator? Let's dive straight in. Okay, so we start from this screen. Here we can simply choose to build our first lead Doppler calculator. This will make it possible for us to upload an Excel file and turn it into an online calculator in just a matter of a few clicks. Before doing that, we have to choose what layout the users should see when they're seeing the calculator. Here we generally basically have two options. One is to go with the educational one without lead capture form, or one where we have lead capture as a core center of the application of the calculator itself. We often recommend to go with the lead capturing form as the first step in our calculator adventure, ensuring that we actually do get as many leads as possible, if that's possible. In some verticals, we need to be very educational. We need to show the results before we can even think about capturing a lead. But more on that later. So if we want to educate, we choose the one on the left. If we want leads, we go with the one on the right. As we call it, lead Doppler, we'll start with the one on the right with a lead capture form built straight into the calculator. Setting up the lead capture form is easy. All we have to do is select what we want the user to enter when they're going through the lead capture form. The lead capture form will be positioned just before the user sees their result. That means that they'll be prompted with a possibility to enter whatever information they need in the calculator itself. After that, we'll show the lead capture form, and then we'll show the result. That means they will actually get what they've been promised after sending us their contact information. And we've also warmed up. We've engaged them a little bit. They have clicked a few times before we ask for their contact information. This is generating leads like nothing else I've seen before. So let's choose just their name and number, and let's go forward. So we'll assume that we will have an Excel file ready. If not, then let's set up a meeting where we actually get you ready with that step. That's usually quite hard, but let's do that later. For now, we'll assume you have an Excel file. I'll simply upload a demo Excel file that I prepared for this demo here. It consists of two input fields, this one, B2 and B3. Right next to it, we have the labels. If you're structuring your Excel file like this, the system will actually detect the input as input and the text on the left as a label, making it easy for it to simply build the calculator without enter anything else from your side. So now we have clicked the two input fields and the output field. The system has detected the labels perfectly and we are ready to build the calculator. We'll do that simply by clicking Build My Calculator. When that is done, the calculator is actually ready. This calculator here consists of two pages, one where the user can input how many they need, one where they can choose what type, since that was our input we needed. Then we have the lead capture form where we can enter whatever information we need before we see the result. This data is captured, I'll show that later, and set straight into the system. But let's first see what the user sees when they're using the system. So the user is entering their input, entering their lead information, contact information, and then they see their result. So they have actually got exactly what they asked for. They have got a calculator that shows them the result. That means they're probably pretty happy if you contact them later and follows up with and asks if they've got any more questions or they want to move ahead with the project. So that was a lead capturing form, but we haven't connected it with anywhere. We haven't done anything with the data. We've just shown some results for the end user. So let's try to connect it. First, we'll connect it with your email inbox, ensuring that you get an email whenever someone is using your calculator. So we'll go back to the dashboard. We'll click on Home and go back to see what happened with the dashboard itself. Now we've created the calculator and the dashboard has changed a little bit. So now we have created a new calculator. It's positioned here, it's called a landing page because these calculators can be presented as landing pages all by themselves without ever touching your website. It can also be embedded into your website with cut and paste code that you can access simply by clicking the title of the calculator. Here we have the copy paste code that you can copy into your website, into your CMS, WordPress, whatever system you have, and it will actually be inserted straight into that website. So, to ensure that we actually get an email whenever someone is using the calculator, we'll set up what's called an automation. We'll set up with using the menu on the right hand side where we have the automations, and we actually do have an email that is being sent out automatically. So when we're enabling this, it will actually send out an email to you as the account owner when someone is using your calculator. That means you can follow up minutes after they've taken the calculator. While we're in here, we can just look at what other options we have. Well, one of the options is to send it to MailChimp, HubSpot, so that all information is gathered, is sent to the right systems wherever you need it. We can also add it to the Add a Deal. So what is this Add a Deal? So this is basically the built-in CRM system, pipeline management system that we added to the core of LeadDoubler because our customers were generating so many leads that we actually needed to help them to structure their data. So let's click here on Add Deal. Here we'll be prompted with the possibility to send the data into an already existing pipeline that I prepared already. So this will just send all of the data into a pipeline that is already existing. So when I've done that, I've added two automations. These automations will happen when the user has entered contact information, but right before they see their result. Two things are happening. An email is being sent out and a deal is created and added to the CRM system that we can see up here. So the CRM system consists of a pipeline where there's room for deals coming in. Let's see how that looks when we're actually using the calculator. This time I'm going to click on this one, Use as Standalone with URL, basically just to open up the calculator. As you can notice here, it's filling out the whole space. On a page like this, it's too wide, but on your website it means it will actually fill out whatever space it's given on your website. That makes it possible for you to insert it on the left, on the right, in the middle, wherever, and it will just fill out whatever space it's given. That makes it fully responsive, working on mobile devices as well as desktops. Let's dive in. Let's pretend we're a user here. So I need 62. I need it of the type C, and I want to leave my contact information, Lars, phone number, and I'll see the result. Now two things are happening. An email is being sent, and the pipeline has got a new deal in it. Let's look at that. So this is the pipeline before. When we reload it, we've got a deal here. It's called Lars because I entered the name Lars, and I can take the deal and I can move it forward. I can click it, and I can call the user directly from the CRM system itself. I can add a new note. I can even add tasks so that I know that I can follow up later with my leads. So, what did we see today? We saw that creating a calculator is done simply by uploading an Excel file, clicking on the input and the output. We saw that we could connect it with your inbox, sending emails to your inbox directly when someone is using the calculator. We also saw that we could create a completely new CRM system that's built straight into Lead Doubler, that's using the same data, that is connected exactly as it should be. We've also seen that everything seems to be working together here. It's one system, and it's probably the only system that you might need to handle all of your leads. That's at least how most of our clients are handling their day-to-day business, following up with leads, managing them in a pipeline, ensuring everybody gets the right treatment, and everybody gets the answer they need in the calculator. But not least, ensuring that you get the leads you need. Now, getting all the bells and whistles aligned just right is not an easy task. We have done it many times before. We know how difficult the questions could be. We know how easy they should be in order for you to actually derive the conversions that you're looking for. So I urge you to set up a meeting with me or one of my colleagues to ensure that you're getting started off the right foot. You can do that on leaddoubler.com/book. From there you can get all the help you need. Thank you for listening. My name is Morten Matras.